Dana Osgood has our forecast. We just saw her out on the weather deck. We were just talking. You definitely notice the difference when you're standing out in the humidity to coming into a
100%.
climate-controlled building.
I said it got exponentially colder when I came back in here in comparison to outside. It is a very summer-like feel out there, but the humidity is slowly going to taper off as that cold front gets farther and farther away. But our high temperatures for today were still very summery, about 10 degrees above average for this time of year. A lot of us getting into the mid to upper 80s, and the humidity was a big factor for today too. At this point, some of the dew points in areas of the northern half of the state have started to calm down a little bit. Dew points there in the upper 50s puts us in that more comfortable category, but along the immediate coastline and a bit into the interior, still in that sticky and humid category of dew points in the mid to even upper 60s. So it still has a very humid-like feel in some parts of the state, but the humidity overall is going to decrease as we get into the next 2 days. We also had some high clouds today, so depending on where you were, areas of southern and western Maine earlier today had the most of the high clouds, but now they have expanded to more areas of the state. Looks like there's a tiny little shower just areas to the east of Bangor, but most of the state has been dry today. But for tomorrow, we have some more storm activity to talk about. Overnight tonight, it is going to still be a warm and muggy night if your area is closer to the coastline, so we might pick up a little bit of fog in areas of the mid-coast and down East Maine as we get into early tomorrow morning. But the difference of tomorrow versus Tuesday, both days had a chance of some storms, but Tuesday ended up being very cloudy and foggy for a lot of the morning, which meant that we didn't have a ton of fuel for those storms in the afternoon. On Thursday, that's going to be a little bit different. We're going to start out with some more sunshine. Therefore, once we get into the afternoon, starting at between 12 and 1 p.m., we do have that storm threat coming in. Biggest threat for these storms, a couple of them could be severe with some damaging wind gusts and some heavy rain as they move through. The timing of that is about 1 p.m. to about 7 p.m. The good news is that they are mainly diurnally driven as that front goes through. So if you are going to be setting out off fireworks Thursday night, by the time the sun goes down, there will be a lot less shower and storm activity around. And then for July 4th itself, it's a little bit ironic. It ends up being the coolest and almost crispest day of all. We start out with a lot of sunshine. High temperatures will only be in the mid 70s. Dew points will be in the 50s. We do have a chance of some shower activity, mainly in areas of northern and eastern Maine. However, overall, we have been trending in a drier direction. And once we get during those overnight hours, a lot of that storm activity will end as well. So I think overall for outdoor activities, Friday does look pretty good. And we end up with a really nice weekend as well. We don't really have any rain to talk about for it, which is a welcome change based on how this summer has gone thus far. So for tomorrow, we do have a 1 out of 5 on the severe risk, so we could have a couple stronger storms move through, so we'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. The best chance of some strong gusts and heavy rain will be about 1 to 7 p.m. So it was still pretty humid today. Dew points crash for both Friday and Saturday, but we get very humid again on Sunday. It'll also be the warmest day of the weekend stretch, so make sure you know of a good day to get cool on Sunday. Some of those heat indexes with temperatures in the 90s, dew points in the upper 60s could feel like the upper 90s in some spots. Marine forecast sees 3 to 4 feet. Ocean temperature is 62. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast. So we'll be watching that storm activity as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. Still warm and a little muggy in some spots, but as that front goes through, the humidity will lessen throughout the day on Thursday. Then guys, for Friday, we do have that slight chance of a shower, but I think for a large majority of us, it will be nice on Friday. And then as we get into the weekend, things heat up again. The humidity returns back to a summer-like feel.
As it should be for July.
Yeah, I keep saying it's ironic that July 4th itself ends up being the coolest, crispest day, but once we get into the second half of the weekend, it's back to summer.
Yeah, looks good. Dana, thank you.